about the VOD and the silver screen. Kevin and Tom and Joe know all there is to know, from masterpieces to deep fried tacos. And if the movie sucks, you might hear them say, there's no telling where the guys will take you. Get ready for a spoiler. Won't say it twice, cause we already warned you. Better watch out, it's gonna ruin the plot. Real spoilers. Real spoilers. Real spoilers.
Broadcasting from the lush but not lavish studios located in the basement of the O'Keefe Institute for Advanced Film Snarkitude, but not really because none of us are there. It's Real Spoilers, episode 906. What was this stupid movie called?
One Night Only.
Oh, yeah, One Night Only.
I was
Sure
trying to
felt
think
like
of a
a full
Purge
night.
title, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah. It's the Purge.
It is the Purge.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess let's go around the table and everyone can introduce themselves.
This is Joe.
This is Kevin.
And this is Tom. Before we dig in, shameless plugs. Don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn. Wherever you find a podcast, you can find us. While you're there, be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. That is super helpful and greatly appreciated. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Real Spoilers. While you were there, like the page, join the group. And, of course, don't forget our Patreon, patreon.com/Real Spoilers. $5 a month. You get all sorts of bonus content. Did MacGruber ever make it up?
It's
It
up.
did.
Our MacGruber episode is out, so we have completed our SNL 60. That's what we're calling it now.
SNL 60.
Our SNL 60.
See, we're just 9 years early for the
yes.
60th. As long as they don't make any more movies, we're good.
That's right.
I think we're safe. Yeah. And then
All right, we
yeah,
do have a review.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
I don't think I read this one. It is funny because it is in direct correlation to the 1-star review that we got.
No way.
I swear
Is
to
it?
God.
Okay.
This is from JTread05. It's another 5-star review. It's just
That's
simple.
new.
Love the hosts and the tangents.
Well, thank you.
Ooh, that's perfect. Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks, JTread.
See, it doesn't have to be a long think piece on the show. You can just be like, I dig it.
That's right.
I don't care what the other people say.
Super helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you can watch all of these over on the YouTubes at youtube.com/@Real Spoilers. And I think that's all the stuff I got to plug, right? So
You did it.
there we go. Let's dig in, shall we?
You know what's frustrating about this movie?
Everything.
Yeah, because I feel
This
like
movie is such a piece of
it's.
Oh, I love this
think
movie
I
so
this
much.
movie. You are a bad person for loving
Oh,
this
I
movie.
love.
That's all I have to
loved
say.
it. This was a delightful rom-com. I
This
thought it was
movie,
so fun.
like, look. So for people who haven't seen it, and if you're listening, I pray to God you haven't seen it because it's such a piece of.
Oh my gosh.
This is the most vile movie.
Wow.
I like hate this movie with the white hot intensity of 1,000 Suns.
I don't know what.
I
Like,
hope
I don't even know what
bad
else-
things happen to the creative team behind this
The
movie.
creative
these
team
are the
of
same
Easy A.
people that the same guy that did Anything But You, which was
Don't fucking care. He's lost it all. I don't give a shit.
It's frustrating to me because I think it's like if they would have just leaned into the raunchy rated R
there is
sex
a version,
comedy,
so they edited it down to be not quite as graphic.
I think if they had leaned into that and done that version of this movie, I would have been all in. But it's this weird, chopped up, like
It's this
sanitized.
It's this weird, like, not quite, like, it's like one notch away from being PG-13. But the other
Correct.
thing is that it's like, it's this, like, light rom-com set against the backdrop of a right-wing dystopian nightmare. Isn't that adorable?
but it's
And,
trying to make, but it's
failing at every fucking turn. This piece of movie is failing. I hate this movie so much.
I just don't get it because it's like making a political statement about
Is
how
it?
bad and yes, they're saying how dumb the whole thing is. It's
Except-
not pro
Hey,
what's going on.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. Because this movie doesn't have an opinion. And that's worse than if it had the wrong opinion, in my opinion.
Do you think that if they had kind of leaned into the rated R goofiness of it. Like, does
The
that, or
problem
is it just
is-
the whole idea of?
The problem is, for people who haven't seen the movie, the premise is that in the not too distant future, please don't start singing the theme to Mr. Science Theater 3000. In the not too distant future, the government passes a law that makes premarital sex illegal, except for one night a year where the singles can do it. And so this takes place on that night. Once they establish that premise, all we see is it's like New Year's Eve. And isn't it fun and silly? Isn't this kind of a fun night for the singles? Like, everything is about like how fun and goofy this is. Also, apparently, even though this is the 3rd year of this law, no one's made any plans whatsoever because nobody has anyone to fuck yet. Like, everybody's out looking for somebody, and I'm just like, you should have had this locked down in March. Like, you get one day a year, as this is like if the entire country did its Christmas shopping on Christmas Eve.
That's very
it's
funny.
So
That's a very, very good call.
stupid. Everything about this movie is aggressively stupid, and it plays this whole premise like it's cute and fun instead of like, yeah, there's a couple like throwaway lines about like, oh, it's dumb, F the mandate, but like it's never said with any passion. You never see anybody really trying to rebel against this thing. And then, oh, how do they keep track of this? They make everyone get a tattoo, just like the Holocaust. Isn't that cutesy?
I did think the
Isn't that cutesy and fun?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, fuck this movie.
I
hate
did think
this
the
movie
tattoo
so much.
I did think
Like-
the tattoo thing was like, well, that's a little on the nose about it.
But,
Yeah.
but
you
it's
know?
like but it's a biological sensor type thing. so
That's
that it
understand.
worse, not better. Like, oh, and now the tattoo that you're legally required by the government to get also reads all your personal data. Oh, what a step forward. That's a great improvement over the old tattoos
I think-
they used to give people.
I just don't think, like, I do think there's enough context there to read into that they're saying it's bad. They're making the people talking about it stupid. You do see people protesting it and constantly the mandate, all this stuff. I just don't think it's a political, or they want to make a political movie. So it's more
Then
of a
you
cute,
need
Yeah.
a different reason for why this exists.
I think this works. I think the idea of like procreate, sex one night of the year or whatever. I think that's a fine premise. I think the problem, I think you are right, Tom, is that when you put the political aspect into it, you could even say this is like a different reality, right? Like, this is where we went with society, blah blah. But when you set it in today and you give the reason for the mandate a face, right? You see it on TV. You see like the guy explaining why it's here. You get I will say,
who's a complete idiot. I mean, they are
Sure, I'm not disagreeing
I
with
mean,
that.
they're clearly making fun of him and what side it is. See, I thought Tom would love it for these reasons because you have this cute rom-com. I think the two leads have incredible chemistry. It's just
gotta
a
tell ya,
fun, cute movie.
that guy needs to like. I don't get this guy.
I thought he was so
I
much
think
better
she
in
is
this
out
than-
of this world.
I don't
thought it
think
was
they
great.
had any chemistry
I
at
thought it
all.
was-
When the piano player guy popped up, I'm like, now we got chemistry. Like, that worked way better than anything else in the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, see, that to me felt forced. Like, it was like, oh, of course they're going to give you the heartthrob who's a musical creative genius.
Oh,
this,
I mean,
that,
I
and the
knew
other.
that wasn't really going to be how that
No,
panned
but I'm
out.
just
But I
like,
was just watching those two interact. I was like,
That's
these two
interesting.
got way more chemistry than
I don't
main
know.
two.
I think the dynamic of the will they, won't they, enemies to lovers, the conflict. Like, there are movies that do it so poorly. Like Leap Year, as you guys know, one of my most hated, most frustrating movies with them just Matthew Good and Amy Adams, right? Are the two in that one?
I don't
I
think
think
so.
so.
I've never seen that.
And they're just going at it the whole time, and they're just so frustrated with each other. And then finally, of course, they get together, whatever. So it's that kind of dynamic they're trying to get. But in this one, I think it's so fun. The two of them, I just thought the lines were funny. I thought their personalities were fun. Him being this neurotic, like super nice guy, and they even make a comment out like, "Do girls want a nice guy?"
I didn't like that. I didn't
Yeah,
like.
you mean like all the incels say?
That's exactly how I felt. That's
I'm
exactly.
a nice guy. Why won't women let me sexually abuse them?
But this guy is
Yeah.
not a. But this guy.
No,
is not
he's
an
not,
insult.
but
He's
when-
just genuinely a nice
But that
dude.
is
Yeah.
what the
That is-
incels
that is-
believe.
yes, but that is the verbiage you hear coming out of that community all the time. So when you hear it in this context, it's hard to remove it from that context,
Gotcha.
especially when you're starting from a point of living in a right-wing dystopian fascist regime, right? And so, like, I this movie to bed with its premise, and in my opinion, nothing that like it should have been along the lines of like an Idiocracy or something, where like that they, because it's like none of it worked.
I just thought it was so clear
so-
that they were saying the people in charge, and the whole thing's so stupid. Everyone is saying the mandate. This is dumb. I'm not. Gonna,
yes, they
whatever,
are saying
you know?
it, but it felt like lip service because everything else you get is about like what a fun,
Well, but
sexy
but
romp.
That's
this
all
night
they got.
is.
That's all they've got. That this is the night, and like to me, I love the movie After Hours. This is another one of those movies where it's like one thing after another. Everything they do falls into disaster and calamity. It's all comedic, the situations. I thought it was a really fun way to contain one night. And sure, the premise is political, but they don't get into it. But again, I don't think that's the movie they're making.
That's what I'm saying, though. Is like I think if they would have doubled down, and do you?
I don't want a political.
No.
Like
But
you know what I mean? Like
I think this movie is like if they go the raunchy comedy route and like lean into the nudity, lean into the sex, and just make it, And
Yeah.
I saw the director say that like they took out a lot of nudity and a lot of sex because they were worried that
he toned down the sex and nudity,
and like
yeah.
Gen Z doesn't like seeing that on screen.
They don't,
And it's
so
like,
they did
what
cater
the
to the.
fuck are you talking? I mean, I'm not saying that he's saying that. I'm just like, what do you?
But look at that. That is a fact. That is something that over the years, sex scenes in movies and all that.
I
people
agree.
Just they've toned it out, and so we grew up in a totally different generation to where you had all those erotic thrillers and the nudity all the time. And they don't.
And I think the reason for that is because porn is so accessible.
I think you're right.
And
Don't need it
that,
in a movie. Yeah.
Right. That you don't.
Yeah.
Like, you
Right.
used to have erotic thrillers because it was the barrier to access porn was great. Or there was, like a social capital expenditure of like you had to go into the store, or you had to walk behind that special curtain in the non-blockbuster video store, and so like there was an embarrassment level. It was harder to get. But if you just rent Basic Instinct, well, I just want to watch a thriller and there happens to be sex in it, like what are you gonna do?
Just rent La
remember,
Femme
like, it's
Nikita
the-
from the Blockbuster.
The fact that that scene in Basic Instinct, like, basically made that movie. Like,
Yeah.
the scene of her being interrogated has been copied.
I
and
prefer the scene from Loaded Weapon Part
I
1.
bet you, or The Simpsons, or any of the above.
I remember Bill Hicks had a great routine where he's talking about he's like, it's a really movie with 1 second of pussy. And he's like, do you know that there are movies out there that are like, you do?
1 second a movie.
And if you want to see pussy, just go rent one of those. Like,
Yeah.
there's
I've
a
never
million
seen that
of them.
movie.
You've never seen Basic
actually.
Instinct?
No, I've never
It's-
seen it.
It is the quintessential early 90s erotic thriller.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like with
Sharon Stone and
Michael
Michael Douglas?
So it's like
Yeah.
you got one person that you want to see an erotic thriller, then you've got Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. Oh, sorry. Sharon Stone. Yes, Sharon
Yeah.
Stone.
But yeah, so I think kids today, and sadly I say that non-ironically, I think they look at it as like sex scenes can be awkward, and there's no point in tolerating them because I can watch whatever weird kind of sex I might be into,
Right.
in the privacy of my own home, whenever I want, and you can, even with the rise of OnlyFans, you could make the argument too that at least, maybe not with 100% certainty, but with a much greater degree of certainty, likelihood, that those are people who are doing it willingly, right?
Right.
Like,
Oh,
you
sure,
know,
sure.
Now, there might be social dynamics of like, well, they need the money really badly or whatever, and so is that willingly? Okay, like, but you can say the same thing about
Well,
the
it's
guy
anything.
who picks up
Yeah.
your trash every day, right?
Right.
but so yeah, I think that the younger crowd is like, if I want to see dirty stuff, it's over here, and I'll go look at it when I want, and then like don't make me feel weird, and don't make me wonder what private hell
Was
these
everybody
people
on
had to
board
go
for
through to
making
make
this
it.
scene?
Right.
Yeah. And so so I get it, but just once they lay down the premise for this movie, everything that comes after it is so jaw-droppingly tone deaf.
That's so interesting.
That I just could not stomach.
That's so interesting. You
One
couldn't
thing
just,
about
like,
this movie.
I mean, I picked up on the political stuff, obviously, but again, that's the backdrop to. I mean, this is the world they live in. They hate it, but I didn't want to see a movie about them. Let's fight the mandate and let's break into the headquarters. It's like I want to see what people, if they had 10 hours or 12 hours, they can have. The premise is single people can have sex one night of the year, 12 hours, and so it's like that just people being silly and running around and hooking up, and it just.
I think there's a way to make that movie.
I agree with
just,
you.
I just don't think
that's
they did.
The part
and
to me.
There are so many other things where I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. Like how many times in this movie did we see like people clearly on their way to a threesome, but the threesomes were always two girls and one guy? Why in the hell?
No, not the one.
There was the one.
Two guys
Well,
came to the bar, and it was the guy from SNL, right?
Yeah, but you're right, Tom. There was one. There's one,
and almost everything else then was was two. Why would two girls pick one guy
right.
when they would like? And I'm not saying that even two girls won't ever want to have a threesome like that, but on that night, like you want to be the focal point, right? You get one night a year, and you're gonna split a guy. Bull.
No.
Bull. No way. And so I was just
to me, that's the part that's frustrating, right? Is like there's something here that could have been very funny, but it just didn't.
Are you a Cub reporter taking notes right now, Joe?
I'm like fidgeting is really what it is.
Okay, I'm like, what is this?
I want to have a little note in his hat that says press.
It has press up here in my hat.
He's like, all right,
I'm gonna put it behind
terrible. Kevin always right.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it behind my ear, and then, no, like that to me that makes me. There are moments in this movie that I thought were very funny. There were other moments where I was like, God, like this is the.
God,
you can't set a lovable rom-com romp against the backdrop of The Handmaid's Tale. You just can't do it. Like, and it needed a different setup or it needed a different tone. And I don't know what setup you could give it that would achieve the same.
You know what I think?
Of, like,
honestly,
people can only have sex one night a year. But
what it could have been is like you take out the news stuff. I think if you take out the Donald Trump, Charlie Kirk guy on the news, and you just say, hey, this is where we are, and then you just
I still think the tone of it basically being New Year's Eve, it's not fun, right? Like this isn't a fun thing. It would be sad and desperate.
I can see it being sad and desperate,
and it never
for sure,
and they never play it like that. It never plays as sad and desperate. It plays as like, well, I mean, we don't dig it, but this will be fun. And I just don't
think you can make a movie about the fun, zany stuff that happens on the one night if everyone is bummed out. Like, I definitely don't think everyone
because
likes
they
it.
have a dumb idea for a movie.
But I mean, this was on the blacklist for a long time. This was a movie that the idea was floating around. People were trying to grab it up.
Two different scripts on the blacklists because this is the same guy that wrote Easy A, right?
Yeah,
and Easy A floated forever.
Yeah,
Easy A is great,
and I think
anyone but you is. I thought that's great.
I thought that was really solid for what it was. It's not my jam, but for a lighthearted rom-com, it was really really good.
Two stars that had undeniable chemistry together, and who were on the cusp of breaking through. One of them, the other one.
I would disagree. They both.
You think so?
Through. Yeah,
I think he's better than she is.
I mean, I think he's better than she is, but she was just in Housemaid.
Oh, that's
true. Made like $300 million.
You're right.
Yeah, she's been in tons of stuff.
Greenlit a sequel.
That is the wild.
She has certainly had some missteps since then.
Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell is who we're talking about. If you don't know,
but Housemaid was huge.
You're right. Housemaid was huge.
And I will also say, most of her missteps when people like to make I'm not a Sydney Sweeney guy, but in defense of Sydney Sweeney, sweet baby Jesus, like the movies that they like to make fun of how little money they made were also like really small indie art house movies. Like Americana or whatever was never designed to make $300 million.
The boxing, whatever that boxing movie was.
Yeah, that boxing movie was her trying to win an Oscar, and she failed horribly. But again, it was not designed to be a $100 million movie. So, like, to judge those as box office failures, while they were not box office failures in the sense of if Housemaid had come out and made $10 million.
Not in that if she's in Supergirl.
Right.
And it makes, $126 million.
Right.
Yeah. That's fair.
So I was looking up Will Gluck, the director's filmography, and I remember it was always funny because he did that movie Fired Up, the cheerleader movie, which was
trash.
awful. But then he did Easy A, and it's like, oh, okay, like right after that, and that was great. So he directed Friends with Benefits, which was the twin movie.
Which one is that?
Natalie Portman. This is the Justin
Friends with
Timberlake.
Benefits is the good one.
See, that's what I'm saying. So he did the good one, whereas the Ashton Kutcher, Natalie Portman was awful.
Correct.
No strings attached.
Yes. He did the Justin Timberlake, Mila Kunis one.
He did the good one, right? So he did that one. He directed episodes of the Michael J. Fox Show. He directed the remake of Annie. He directed Peter Rabbit, 2018, and Peter Rabbit 2. And then he did Anyone But You, and now One Night Only. So, like, he's got a pretty solid track record. Like, he doesn't, I don't, just for what it's worth, but it was funny because I saw that and I'm like, man, I can't remember. It's been so long. Which one's the good one? So I'm glad that he did,
He did the good one. He did the good one. But like also the cast of this movie.
Oh my god, so many people.
Insane.
The people that pop up in this movie, like not just the main cast, but they run it. But they talking about like it being a one night only kind of. It is like a Valentine's Day or whatever, like a Gary Marshall movie, where it's like this guy obviously has been in the industry. He just directed that hugely successful Sydney Sweeney Glenn Powell movie, right? So he gets them to pop up in a couple pictures.
When Maya Hawke, who plays Callum Turner.
Yeah, Callum Turner. So he's British, by the way.
Yeah.
So
should let that guy be British because his American accent's trash.
He usually he is a lot of times. I think I don't think it is. I'm like, man,
you could hear it drop in and out.
When I watched interviews, like I knew he was British, and I kind of forgot. I watched interviews. I'm like, oh yeah, he's British. Like in the movie, I didn't pick up on that at all.
He doesn't need to be Brit. He doesn't need to be. It's one of those moments it's your point.
When
exactly.
they let Samara Weaving be Australian in the Marvel movie, you let me know.
Yeah, I know. They let her be Australian in that Over Your Dead Body movie.
Man, that was a great movie.
So good.
Wasn't that great?
Good. So Maya Hawke is in this as a cameo as Callum Turner's girlfriend.
A little more than a cameo because she's in several scenes.
She's in 2. She's at the diner, or she's at the restaurant, and then she's at the apartment.
Okay,
that's it.
But I think it's more the cameo is like a pop up.
Cameo is
can you miss? Cameo is the guy from SNL.
What's also Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. Those are cameos.
Those definitely. But whenever Monica Barbaro, the lead in this movie, opposite Callum Turner, whenever she's talking about. Oh no, I'm sorry.
It's Maya Hawke.
You're right. The Maya Hawke thing, yeah. And she's talking about, and she says, "Is it the guy across the hall or something?"
See, that joke to me feels like it's out of like an '80s comedy where they keep repeating this long ass name, and it's supposed to be some kind of a gag, and then
it is because it's like a ridiculous. Sounds like a ridiculous, like a foreign, long, like exotic, like you're gonna see like some guy that. Is some Eastern looking long hair blown in the whatever. And they show a picture and it's
Colin Powell. Yeah.
I don't know. That was funny to me. They did repeat it a lot, but I liked the gag of it that it's like that guy would have that name. It made no sense.
And then he's swiping on like Tinder and he comes across Sydney Sweeney and that, on that app.
Right.
Also, you get, so Maya Hawke.
They made that guy so much money. I mean, that Anyone But You made, what, 300 or 400, whatever it made was just ridiculous.
Did it make that much, or I thought that was like
it made so much money.
It just did not stop making money. It was kind of like not quite Greatest Showman, but it was kind of like that in that it just kept making like $15 to $20 million a week for
I'm sorry, $220 million, but for a $25 million rom-com, that
But you get
not to mention home video.
You get Molly Ringwald.
Oh yeah,
and
I
you
mean,
get
the
LeVar Burton, where I was like,
Reading
when he
Rainbow.
came up on screen, I was like, is that LeVar Burton? That's great.
Yeah.
Like, look at that guy.
Yeah, is it Geordie or is it Reading Rainbow to you?
It is both.
Right?
Like,
'Cause
I'm
it's
at like a weird age where he was both.
Katie
And
said
I'm at the-
Reading Rainbow, and I'm like a Geordie, but I get it.
And I'm at the age where I'm like, young Kunta Kinte.
Yeah, right.
That's true. He was in Roots, yeah.
I'm trying to think
But
if
let's
there
see.
was
So
anybody
okay,
else.
so Ben Marshall is the guy from Please Don't Destroy that is now on S. Is he the one that's on S? No, it's the
he
other
was
guy.
on SNL.
He left.
He was,
left.
Yeah, he left.
Yeah. But so you
They're
got
coming
him.
to St.
You
Louis.
said. Oh really?
Mhm.
Oh okay. Julia Fox.
Oh, that's who that was. That's the bartender.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's Kanye. Is that no? That's
his
not.
ex.
Is that Kanye's?
Or is that Ben Safdie's? Isn't it the same gal?
It is
It's,
the
she's
same.
the uncut. It's
she's
the
one
uncut,
of Uncut
Uncut
Gems.
Gems.
But wasn't she with Kanye? Wasn't
Uh-huh.
that the thing for a while?
Sure.
I don't
I don't know.
She's white, so it's not racist
Oh
if I
my
get her
God.
confused
I
with.
did not know
Well,
where that
I
was
just-
going.
No, I mean, if I say I don't know if it's her or not, well, that's not bad.
Yes, I think that was her.
they all look the same to me, Joe. All the white people.
Jesus.
Kevin gets me and Joe mixed up
All the time.
I
All the
do.
time.
I'm like, which one are you? Okay, well, man, I just did not expect to come into this with Tom Fire.
I honestly didn't think you were going to come in hot
thought-
like that.
I'm like, because I wanted to talk about it, I just thought it was such a cute, like, okay, it's in this dystopian world where, again, the no sex thing, blah, blah, blah. But then you have things that happen in this movie that are zany and ridiculous and impossible. So, like, I feel like the tone is set to where it's not a completely, like in Idiocracy, things happen that is making a point, but they're so ridiculous that, like, it doesn't even make sense. Where in this movie, I kept noticing things that happen, like the magician guy. That's a funny gag to me, but, like, he can't get a card in her mouth without, I mean, that's so ridiculous.
It is, and
It's
the
not
joke
possible.
for that when she's leaving and he
Yeah.
flings the
And
cards
he's
and
got
she
the-
pulls
yeah.
one like out of her ass.
Give me that.
And
Yeah,
I was
give me
like,
that.
that's a joke from a different movie.
That's
that
what
I
I'm saying.
think if
But
the
that-
tone is the
Yeah.
80s sleazy rom-com works.
But I guess I thought that was interesting because you don't usually see those gags that don't make sense in a more grounded rom-com like this. And so I thought it was interesting that they pulled out the absurd gags for this where it was a different,
I would
like,
be-
to me, it wasn't confused. It was like, oh, this
if
is
you-
so silly.
If you want to see a rom-com that has jokes like that,
Yeah.
that works. Have you ever seen L.A. Story with Steve Martin?
I have seen that.
Oh, it's been a long time. I'm pretty sure I have.
Yeah,
though.
like that
Yeah.
does that a
Yeah.
lot, and it's
So that's
really good.
that's a good point. So like that tone I missed because, like, to Joe's point, I mean, that is something out of the 80s 90s, but to me it was refreshing to see that in a modern movie, so I enjoyed that part. There were just so many things like that throughout the movie that made me laugh, that were silly gags, but like it couldn't have happened in the real world, right? So the tone for me was set in a way to
I
where it
laughed
just
literally one time
When?
in this movie, in the last literally 30 seconds of the film.
that I thought that was so funny.
When-
Oh, you gotta keep dancing.
Well,
You're in the shot.
And that's
Oh.
not even what made me laugh. Was as they're filming this commercial and they pan out, I laughed at the lady in the box pretending she was in a bathtub. And I was
that
just
was
like,
good. That was
that
also
is
funny.
exactly what one of these commercials
Yeah.
would be.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
like I chuckled at that, and that was it. That's the
Interesting.
only time I laughed.
So
in
you
the
saw
whole
this
movie.
with Crystal, I take it?
Yeah, she
And
also hated it.
Huh.
The whole time we were just like, "What the hell? This is so."
Would you
stupid.
have rather seen Ice Cream Man?
Oh, God.
Probably not.
Yeah.
That looked really
Oh.
bad and just
And
gross
that
for the sake of
is-
grossness.
Getting
Yeah.
lit up.
And AI, because he's like, oh yeah, well we use some AI, like
well, he said this is the part that guy's.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, that guy is wildly knowledgeable and very well spoken about horror in general. Like he knows his horror.
guy. Eli Roth.
Yes,
yeah.
Eli Roth. He can't make a movie to save his life. His movies are terrible. He's never made a good movie.
What has he made?
Cabin Fever.
Made Hostel. Wasn't that
Hostel.
that first Hostel
Made a
movie
lot
I
of
thought
money,
was
didn't
okay?
it?
Hostel is just it's only there to gross you out.
Sure.
You know,
It was the beginning. Wasn't that kind of the beginning of that type of
Like
Yeah,
like
kinda,
that
the
and
torture
Saw were
porn.
like 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
I remember Hostel coming
Yeah.
out, and it was like, oh, and then every movie came out trying to
Correct.
imitate that.
He
gross out,
did
yeah.
Green Inferno. He did Thanksgiving.
Green Inferno. That's not good.
No.
Okay.
It's like no, it's not like he's just doing it to be gross. And
Green Inferno, the one with Anton Yelchin?
no,
Or no, that's Green
that's
Room.
Green
I'm
Room.
sorry.
Green Room,
That's a
yeah.
good movie.
Yeah, because that was good. I was just getting them confused.
No, Green
Okay.
Inferno was like a bunch of environmental advocates get taken by a cannibalistic like tribe in the.
Is that the one where they're like, oh, we can't release this? It's too. There was
It's
wasn't
that
one
one.
of his movies one where
It's
they're
that
like, yeah,
one.
we can't show this
Yeah.
because it's so
Right,
gnarly.
and then
or
then you
whatever.
see
Okay.
Bone Tomahawk. You're like, well, that's
Hey, he directed The House with the Clock in Its Walls, which was a great
a
like middle school
okay,
introduction.
but that's
to
not
horror
an
movies.
Eli Roth movie. That's like Kevin
Based
Smith
on a
doing
book,
Cop Out,
Right.
You know what I mean?
But he did a good job with that.
and then
for
he
sure.
did Borderlands.
Oh yeah,
That's
was,
bad. That's real
that
bad.
was real bad.
So like
yeah.
he knows his horror stuff, but he's a terrible filmmaker. And then
I
when
wonder if he's a bad writer and not director. Like, I wonder if he would take someone else's material, like House with the Clock and Its
Oh,
Walls,
maybe.
if he knows how to direct it, but just doesn't quite the writing part.
yeah, but when you
work.
say, "Oh, I just drew these and then I handed them off to an animator for these scenes," but then it's like, you just used AI, and then he gets called out for it. And he's like, "Well, maybe I did."
Well, yeah, he should know by now that especially the horror community are people that love practical effects, they love going to theaters, and they are completely wholeheartedly against AI. And so like, why would you even make a movie knowing your audience and knowing how people react and then be like, oh, well, I used it to bring this to
because
life?
he's desperate to be relevant, and this
But
And he
listen.
wanted his own Terrifier.
that's exactly it. That's what this movie is.
But think about that, though. People that have been making horror practical effects for decades, like that's the whole thing, is they make the impossible possible through incredible practical effects. And so when you go like, oh, well, this is the way to bring my vision, whatever, it's like, well, then you were lazy. You did like, that's not how you do it. The whole point is you bring them to life. Joe, you've seen more horror movies than me. You certainly have seen movies where things happen that you never thought you'd see in a movie.
1,000,000%.
And they pull it off with some weird practical effects that just
It's like seeing a magician on TV and then finding out it was all just camera edits.
Right.
yeah,
It's,
exactly.
it's like,
Right,
but
right.
the magician, it's the watching them trick you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're just using special effects, then that's not really a magician.
Yeah,
like
this
that's my complaint with like the Now You See Me movies, is because like so much of it was just, it's just
That first
special
one's
effects.
really good.
The first one's really good. It's fun. I don't know if I'd say really good, but it's fun.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of it holds up on a rewatch.
Sure.
But it was a fun ride. But even then, a lot of it was just like, are they really doing magic, or did they just edit some things?
Right.
And like,
And
now
then
they're
we're
in a
getting a third
different
one this
spot.
year.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's already out.
Oh, fourth one.
Yeah, third
I think
one's
they're
already out.
Yeah, I think they're getting a fourth one. now.
Okay.
It's Now You See Me, Now You Don't was the third one, right?
Oh.
They skipped it's the third. It
Sure,
sounds
sure,
like
sure.
it should be the second, but it's
Yeah.
the third. Yeah.
No, and then the Ice Cream Man is basically a ripoff of Weapons, Terrifier, and Nightmare on Elm Street, like the 2010 version of Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yeah.
which is even worse. But yeah, so that movie was terrible. I also feel bad because there's an Image comic book that is very good, also called The Ice Cream Man, that is not tied in. I thought this was a tie-in to that book. It is
well,
not.
there was the Clint Howard movie.
There is a Clint Howard one as well.
That's my Ice Cream Man.
And then there's the porn version.
It's all-
the Ice
it's-
Cream Man cometh.
Correct. You could just call it
Yes.
The Ice Cream Man.
I
Call it
thought
anything
that was
else.
Called Are You My Daddy?
Yeah, like again. So this movie, Callum Turner, owns a pizzeria. He's going to propose to his girlfriend, who is Maya Hawke. It's I had a lot of questions when they were like, there's no intercourse, and I was like, so you can't. Like,
There's so many questions, right?
so
of
can
so
you
many
what-
questions.
can you
What-
like suck
It's
a
like
dick?
Gremlins.
Can you,
It's like Gremlins, right? Like, well,
Right.
what if you're like inside of her, but it takes
what
over the
constitutes
701? Like,
what time
yeah.
zone are we in? What
Right.
you know.
What if
Now-
what if we're on a plane and we're crossing the international date line?
Now
Yeah.
the tattoo that the government mandated tattoo, it's red all year and then it turns green during that 12 hours. But does that also biologically inhibit people from being turned on so they don't have those
No,
urges?
it's, the way I
Okay.
interpreted it was, but it rats you out if you do.
That's
like it,
for sure.
So can
for
you
sure.
like
jerk off?
Yeah.
No, yes, because they're like, I was
On
really
the other
frustrated.
hand, Joe.
Oh,
I
'cause
was
it
really
feels like somebody else is
frustrated
doing it.
in that a lot of care was put into making this really bad movie, and there's all sorts of like almost airplane level gags going on in the background.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
In terms of like the signs and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
there is a sign at one point that shows you like it has
What you
like
can and
what you
can't
can
do.
and can't
Yeah.
do, and so like rubbing one out was allowed. And they explained the way the biometric tattoos work is that if like two people in close proximity have that spike at the same time, then that's how it knows. So like yes, you can masturbate.
Well, yeah,
But
'cause
wait,
I heard,
but
I
what
heard
happens if you
Cousin
masturbate
Greg
next to
give
your
a whole
partner?
exposition.
Yeah. What's that?
What happens if you masturbate next to your partner?
See, they don't
Right, that's
say,
the question.
but my assumption would be that would not be allowed because it would not be able to tell the difference between the spike in testosterone versus estrogen, blah blah blah. And they also are really vague about what happens if you're gay or bi.
Oh, they are. You're right.
Well. So okay, that's a good question. But the roommate of the main character, she is clearly gay or bi, right? And so she says, "Oh, we've been avoiding your laws for years."
Right, but like if
So-
you have a tattoo that watches you 24/7,
Right.
Like I don't know how you avoid that.
That's-
and I don't,
no, that's a
and
good
I don't know
question,
how
yeah.
gay people could avoid it, but straight people couldn't.
Right.
And so, so like it never really delves into how this would affect the queer community, which is just one more reason to
Maybe
not like it.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that was I agree that was kind of, and then there's another I think it's the detective from Sheep Detectives. It's the cop from
It
Sheep
is.
Detectives.
It's cousin Greg.
Cousin
from
Greg from Succession.
Yes,
Succession.
where
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh no, we're developing a pill that will like negate the
that will
thing." And I was
counteract
like,
it.
"Wait a
Yeah.
minute, like okay, like we're saying that there's a pill and that."
So like people are trying to get around it,
But then it's
and-
completely dropped. Like I thought that was
Well, it was just I took it. It's just a throwaway.
exposition.
It's a throwaway joke, right? Like one, he tells you because the first thing they don't. This doesn't come until like 20 or 30 minutes into the movie because
Yeah.
they did spend a long time like, well, how are they enforcing this? So you finally get the metric by which they enforce it. But it was also kind of a joke about these big corporations and that they're going to sell you the disease and the cure,
Correct.
right?
Right.
Like
Correct.
they have no political
Yeah.
beliefs. They're going to do whatever they can to make money.
Right.
Yeah. He's
So-
one of the guys that when the night starts and she goes out, Allie is the main character's name. She goes out and then is talking to guys, and he's a total corporate farmer bro and is talking about. But I like him in Succession. Loved him in Sheep Detectives. He's great. But I thought his exposition dump was
Oh, yeah, it
really
was terrible.
bad. I thought I'm like, what are we doing? I know him and I like him, but man, I think he was just trying to get all the exposition out, and the way he did it was so like, oh, I've got to memorize these lines. Like he was concentrating on saying all these words in the right way, and it just, I don't know, it didn't come off natural. So I did not like that part.
Yeah. So and I think the idea that they, that Owen, who is the main character, Callum Turner, takes Maya Hawke, his girlfriend, to this very expensive restaurant and getting everything set up, and then of course she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go fuck this other guy," and I was like,
But she's not like, I don't want to break up with you, but she's like, she's not saying I'm dumping you, but she's like, this is the night, and I'm gonna use it on someone else.
There's a version of this that I think is very funny, where she's like, I'm not. It's so absurd. Because she would be so entitled to be like, no, I don't want to break up with you, but I do want to go fuck the guy in our building. And then you can't come home because I need to use the apartment. I think there is a world where that setup is very funny.
It was funny in a dark comedy way. Like, that's obviously absurd. And when she says that, he's like, well, I can't even be home. And she's like, yeah, it would just be weird for you being in the same. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, that's the humor again, that like real people, and if you are with someone that says that, then that's a red flag.
Little
for
bit,
sure. But
little
like
bit.
normally people would not be that absurd. And so I do think there's a comedic way to where it's like, what the hell, And
Here's the thing: he doesn't have the chops. He does not have the chops to pull off that. And I think if you
Interesting.
get someone, I don't know. I mean, like Glenn Powell does come to mind, where he has the comedic timing and the.
But I think for this movie to work, and I get why they went with this guy, and they're certainly trying to make him a thing.
He's Mr. Dua Lipa.
yeah,
but
Mr. Lipa.
but I think that you need a guy that is untraditionally attractive, right?
Right.
Like because if
ugly,
it's Glenn
ugly,
Powell,
handsome is what they call it.
yeah, like I would never believe that Glenn Powell would tolerate a woman like this because he wouldn't have to.
Pete
right?
Davidson.
Yeah,
Pete Davidson
He is-
in this role, I think, would have been a much better fit. And I only say that
Yeah.
because he pops up in this movie.
he pops up later, but like yeah, like somebody like that because it's like if you go with a traditionally attractive man, it's just you're just like
But they do this weird thing in this movie where, you know, he's walking down the street or he's doing whatever, and women are literally.
Well, dude, he is tall and he's built.
And
He
yeah,
is attractive.
100%
It's just
agree
not
with
you.
a
But
Brad Pitt facial
also
structure attractive. But
it's the one day of the year, and every attractive woman forgot that it was that day, and now they're looking for a man. So like he's also getting checked out because everyone's grading. Like, is this what I want to spend my time on? Which is also dumb because like, look, guys in a 12-hour period, twice, 3, maybe if you had a whole year 4 times, but like women, if they really want it, they could
Look, they
as
can
many
fuck
as
whoever
they-
they want.
as many as they want, right?
Yeah.
So like they don't have the same level of scarcity
Sure.
that men would, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And you see, and it is true. You see this guy walking down the street. You're like, yeah, you know, of course, I get it.
yeah.
But I don't think he has the comedic timing or the chops, the acting chops.
When we saw him in the last movie, what was
That
the
was
one
the
with
it was the
Elizabeth
Miles
Olsen and
Teller-
Miles Teller?
Eternity.
Yeah.
Eternity. I really liked that movie, and I think he was good, but he does have such an old-timey quality, and I did like seeing him in a modern time, you know, because he like plays like in Masters of Air on Apple, it's like an old-timey pilot,
Oh.
and then he plays Eternity as an old-timey, right? And so like I did like him in modern times, but he still has the old-timey distinguished gentleman type of like personality to him. But it was just, I liked seeing him in this modern setting, and again, I thought it was good. I did like the two of them together. I don't know.
I think so. Where they had the most chemistry is when they weren't trying to fuck each other. Like when they were,
which is
when,
98% of the movie, Joe. They seriously are going at it the entire time, and I thought that was fun because I mean, when he's like, "Oh, I'm actually so physically repulsed by you, I would never have sex with you." There's nothing you could say, and she says hi, and he goes, "Oh, okay, well, that did it."
I think
it was
that
cute.
you're not wrong. I think that scene with a better actor, because you're right. When I saw that, I was like, "That's
Yeah.
good." Like I
Yeah.
like
Like
that.
that's funny on the page.
Yeah, and I think the way she delivers that, hey, I get it.
Yeah, she's very good.
She's very good.
Oh.
And she can sing.
Katie's calling me for maybe it was an accident. Let me just message her. Well,
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, accident. Okay, no worries. Thanks, guys.
The old butt dial.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like,
her I'm sure her ears were burning knowing that Tom hated this movie as much as she loved it, and she probably was trying to call in to disrupt
that would be so
end
funny.
the podcast.
Oh
Could
yeah,
we-
I think
Is there a way
she is
we
not
could do
gonna be
that at some
happy when I
point?
tell her.
Is like to have people call in during a show. Like,
Sure.
yeah, we should
Yeah.
figure that out. That'd be fun.
I think she
Congrats.
was trying though.
Congrats, you've invented radio.
Yeah.
No, I'm so yeah, it just becomes like, you know, she doesn't have anybody
It's
to hook up.
after hours. It's after hours. Like I love after hours.
That's
and
great.
It is just, dude. It's like two parallel paths. I mean, they even say parallel.
I will
This
say,
movie
go
is a
buy it
joke,
right
but-
now because Criterion's doing their 50% off sale.
Oh, that the Criterion. Yeah, that's awesome. But it's like they're both trying to have sex. He is trying to essentially get over his girlfriend / future fiance.
He's trying to make a point. Like, he's trying to make a point that because when he's at that bar talking to the bartender,
yeah.
he's like, she doesn't think I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it, and I'm, you know.
Well,
so
yeah, but he exactly, because she says, you know, you need to get out of your shell, you need to do this, and it's true. Like, he is a character that he is a nice guy and he's a gentleman and good guy and all this stuff, but he is very much like, look at him trying to make a decision flipping the condom. Like, the amount of times he goes back and forth.
I think that scene with a better actor is a very funny scene.
Well, I think it's funny, but that's the character he is. Could you imagine living with someone who one choice takes 30 minutes to flip a coin kind of a thing. Like
I did.
He needs to just
Yes,
he
I
needs
can.
to just breathe, but he needs to just breathe, and like you call a thing and you flip it, right? And so like he is just he needs to come out of his shell. That's what she says in the movie.
If he would just get on Boost Bar, this wouldn't be an issue.
What is that?
It's an anxiety med.
Oh,
No,
that's
I
funny.
thought it was a dating app. I was
Yeah.
like, what is that? Like, is that like Bumble?
it's
But
an
for-
anxiety med. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, why did so many people not have condoms? Like,
They were sold out because in a world where
you have a year. You have a year.
Yeah, he
but
should
I
have. He
think
should
they
have one
don't-
on him at the ready.
but I don't. Well,
I get why he didn't.
yeah, because he's with his fiance that he's going to marry.
He's
Although-
not. They're not married. They're not fiancé yet.
No, but he's with
He's
with
about to be his fiance. You
He's
gotta-
going to propose.
So wait.
yeah.
Wait. Are we saying the rule is that if you're even like fianced, you don't have to
No.
wear a condom?
Well, no, he was going to be married. It wouldn't have mattered.
And it's the
once they got
night.
married.
Right. It's the night. So like,
Yeah, you can do it on the night, and if something happens, well, he's planning on marrying her, so probably it wouldn't have mattered.
Okay.
yeah.
They don't say you can't get pregnant when you're not married. They say you can't have sex. I mean, I guess it probably does happen sometimes, and most people don't want it to, so they have condoms. But I think the point is that when so much
it's
of
a
the
rule. It's a rule that you have to have a condom. It's part of the night. Is like you have to have a condom. You cannot have sex. That's
Okay,
I,
so
don't- I
that's the
missed
whole-
that line.
Yeah. That's the whole reason they're all running around trying to find condoms. Is because
Well, then
Well, I
why?
thought it was just they didn't want to have
no, you have to like you cannot have premarital sex without a condom.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. in
but
this
it doesn't
world,
make
but-
sense that nobody had
Okay,
one.
so
That's true.
let me just. I think it does. I'm not saying that it has to make perfect sense, but in my mind, if you have a bunch of single people that are going crazy, and you also have a world where 364 days of the year you don't need condoms, I don't think they make them in quantities that are accessible, and then I think people are buying them up to go crazy all night, and the supply is just
I gotta tell you, if this is the rule, I'm going on like whatever surplus store I can find, and throughout the year, I'm just buying.
I know
them.
you're
I'm gonna sell them for a grand a pop.
I know your toilet paper during COVID. That's what I'm saying. Wouldn't you think people would have COVID? Well, yeah, they would if someone didn't buy 800 pallets of it.
Okay, but
it's like,
they didn't say we're going to have COVID every year on August 8th moving forward. They
Yeah,
they
no,
know
I totally-
this is
I-
coming.
yeah.
I just it just made no sense that I get why he might not have one at the ready, but
Yeah.
there were so many people in this movie scrambling for condoms that it just didn't make any sense. It made no sense at all.
I think
I just think it's a supply and demand. For 364 days of the year, you don't need them. A company cannot produce enough or guess exactly the amount perfectly if you are not producing them except for one day. I think that they
it's
sold
not
out.
like they have it's not like it's deli meat. They've got a shelf life. Like they've they last for a long time. Like there's
I mean, it's a MacGuffin. I mean, I totally I get what you mean. And if you're really thinking into it, yes, they should have the supply better, all that. But like, I thought it was believable that people could buy 50 at a time when they don't need them. And
I could
there's
also
none
like
left.
it also.
Well, it
believe-
also makes no sense because it's like, look, if you can only have sex one night a year, you're not going to buy 50. You're not going to use 50 in a night. You're going to buy like 3.
Well,
right?
that guy, the guy remember the guy when Allie bumps into him early in the movie, and he's like, "Hey, I've got in between my 140 and my 2 whatever." Like he was clearly,
again, that's a funny line where she was like, "Nah, I'm good."
yeah, like he was going and hitting up. He had appointments for every 10 minutes. He was like a good-looking.
I appreciate
dude,
that he
just-
had it on his calendar. That was nice of him to make sure that
Yeah.
everything was. I think the joke that they missed that would have been the gal at the convenience store who had the one condom like locked away, and she was like $200 and it's cash only, and there's the whole gimmick. I think the joke that should have been there is that she just kept replacing the one. Like she would sell the one and then she'd go in the back and get another
that's
one.
A really good.
Yeah.
and
Put
that's a
the other one
great
out there.
gag.
And-
That is a great gag.
Yeah,
that would have
yeah.
been phenomenal.
That's a missed opportunity right there.
But that's another one, just talking about things that were unrealistic. Like that's why the tone of this movie, like they are now criminals and there's no repercussions. But again, it was in a zany, silly moment to where it's like, okay, this world, it's not 100% realistic. Like, you know what I mean? Because people got camera footage of him. They've destroyed property. Like they are criminals.
Yeah.
Because of it was ridiculous for them to go to those extents.
They
to
do
get
it the
a
right
condom.
way because it's just a property crime. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not like they tried to rob a bank or something.
Right.
It's just
No,
like
but to get in that much trouble because
Agreed.
you want a condom, I mean, one of them. Okay, it actually.
one of
It
them
makes
does go
sense
to
for
jail.
him, right? It makes sense for him, right, that he would do that.
Sure.
But she's got a good, like a normal job, and she's not a criminal and all that. So like the fact that she would be excited and she's like, all right, let's go to. It's like she's bringing the rope in to tie it to the statue.
Well, he's
that's
a
holding.
business owner. Like that could
Correct.
be problematic.
They could be like,
What's
oh,
that?
the owner
He was
of
like,
Calcaterra's
he's
Pizzas.
a business owner, so like that could
Yeah,
really
no,
have
that's what I mean.
repercussions.
Oh,
Yeah.
He employs a lot of people. His is worse than hers for sure.
Right.
I'm talking
especially
about like the
if the
motorcycle
place
dude.
if the place sells beer.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a
yeah,
good point.
very.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I
So-
do. I also
so-
that is one gimmick that I did like is that he has like an older married couple take over the shop, so that the other guys can get out of
So
there.
the young guys can.
Yeah,
go
I was
out,
like, okay, that's fine.
That was smart. Have it switch over
Yeah.
when it's like the people that they're old and married, they could have sex. It sounded
They can
like
have sex
they
whenever
weren't,
they
but
want.
They could if they wanted.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, it did seem think through for the rules and everything. And
except
again,
for everything
I know
that we just broke down.
Yeah.
Well, I get it. I mean, I know that if we're talking completely realistic, like in today's real world, but again, this
But-
universe to me seemed more
When you
silly.
have this high concept of a premise, one of the fun things is watching them extrapolate
Sure.
what that
Yeah.
world would look like. And when they do it poorly or they leave so many unanswered what seem to be obvious questions, like that gets really frustrating, right? Like, and so when a movie does it right, like all I can think of is like kids movies off the top of my head, but like a Toy Story or a Monsters Inc. where it's like, well, what would this world look like, right? Like, and there's so much low hanging fruit that they could have played with, and they just didn't, or they did it poorly. in my
But
opinion.
does Rom-Com not stick to the same rules as maybe a sillier kids movie? It's not a Pixar, but an action movie, a kitty kid movie.
I think they stick to
like,
they
where
definitely
it's like,
have an outline, right? I think a lot of
but it's like this is Rom-Com. It's not a Oscar bait drama period piece, something where you're trying to make a statement and but that doesn't make sense. It's like it's a zany Rom-Com.
but they wanted to make a statement. I think that's the other problem. Is they
I don't know.
I
mean,
okay,
'cause it's
if you
not
don't want to
hitting you
make
over
a
the
statement,
head.
if you don't want to make a statement, then this can't be the premise of your movie.
Yeah.
I don't.
I-
I, so
you
I
know,
don't
like
totally
the-
agree with that.
Like I think they did a sleeper statement. Because I think it's there.
Oh, it was
and I think
sleepy,
they
all right.
But I think they made it. The people were stupid talking about it, and clearly there's one side that's responsible for this, and they're making them look dumb. People are saying the mandate constantly. Like, I do think they made a statement, but it wasn't the movie they're making to just hammer this idea. But it's like it's in there. Like all the cuts are in there. So if someone that would agree with this watched it, they'd probably be like, "Yeah, this is fun," and not read into it at all. They wouldn't even see it, but it's all there.
I really liked the Molly Ringwald, LeVar Burton argument where like they're just arguing back and forth about how this, single issue voters and all this other stuff. But like, then they're just kind of like Molly Ringwald plays Callum
Owen's
Turner's
mom.
mom, which is also just a weird moment where it's like, oh yeah, Molly Ringwald would be old enough to be this guy's mom. Like that is possible, I guess. She's like, hey man, you gotta go. Like this is not gonna and I like that LeVar Burton was just kind of like, hey buddy, what's up? And it's very obvious that he's gonna bang his mom, and he's like, all right, that's great.
I thought the owner from the club, Ella Loudon is her name. I don't recognize her from anything, but I thought she was funny. I thought she was good. I looked at her, I'm like, she's got to be someone.
I did like the line. So the whole premise of this also is that Allie has and she does, like the actress has a beautiful voice. Like she can sing. I think she's in, what was that?
She does Broadway too.
Yeah, but
so.
what the Timothy Chalamet? Which music biopic did he do?
Oh, completely.
Oh yeah,
unknown.
she played Joan Baez
Yes,
in the Dylan
yeah.
biopic.
Right. So she
Got nominated for an
records
Oscar.
like jingles for psoriasis or
I love those gags. It's like covers of popular songs,
Yeah,
but the
right.
words are changed to psoriasis and
all this other stuff. But she came to New York to be a musician. She cannot sing in front of crowds. And when there's this scene where they get into this secret party, and this woman that we're talking about is trying to like get her up on stage, and she's very anti. And I do like the line I think was very good. She's like, "My fairy godmother dust is wearing off quickly. Get your ass on stage." And I was like, "That's good. I like that."
She's the owner of this club that's throwing this huge party for people to, dance and hook up and all this stuff.
With
and
like this,
Callum Turner can't get in because Allie looks gorgeous and she's in the dress ready to party, and he's in a polo, which they point out throughout the movie. Like, why are you dressed like that?
he just kept saying that it's this kind of shirt. And Allie has a good line. She's like, "I don't think that means what you think it means."
I don't think you. Yeah, exactly. But that again, that is the old timey. Like, he is just a nice guy that he looks respectable. He looks classy, right? He's not looking like a slob, but he also isn't like hip and trendy.
Well, yeah, we see him later run around
and,
in a tank top. It's like, okay, we're just gonna show off the guns. That's what we're gonna do. Okay.
Oh, hey,
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
If you work out that
I guess that's true. If you put in the time.
But everything goes wrong again in the after hours type of vein.
Yeah.
It's like everything they try to do. She tries to hook up with guys and she doesn't have the condom, or the guy ends up being a total jerk. At that nightclub, there's a singer that they see a poster for earlier, and he's like, "Oh, don't tell me that you wouldn't." Whatever that you'd be able to keep it in your pants if he was around. And she was like, trying to debate it. And then he's there, of course, at the club. She goes home with him, but he's a total d-bag. Where at first she's like, "Oh, he's playing a song, it's romantic," but then he's like, "I'm gonna f you in the face," and I'm gonna put
that
it
song.
like,
when he gets into that song, and I was like, "This is a different movie. Like, this is a scene from a different movie." And he's spinning around on this piano, and his
like
feet get tangled up, and he smashes his face. And I was like, "This is a Greg Mottola movie,
right?
Like, this is something out of Superbad. This is and like, if I just wish they would have picked a tone. Like, it kept bouncing back and forth, and it was like, if you just stick to that zany, raunchy comedy, Adventures in Babysitting is not raunchy by any stretch of the imagination, but like that, where they're just kind of running around.
Yeah. And so the kid, her roommate is babysitting. That's a total. Oh my god, like, super bad.
Yeah.
Type.
What was the?
You know what I mean? Like trying to be a raunchy McLovin or something.
Yeah. Yes.
So everything goes wrong, right? So he tries to hook up with someone on a dating app where you see the Sydney Sweeney profile and all that, but he lands on a gal, and he goes to the park, and she's like, "Oh, take your clothes off. I'm going to tie you to this tree." Of course, steals his phone, steals his wallet, all that stuff. She meets all these different D-bags as she's out, and talking to people trying to get her in the threesome, and the guy that is romantic at the piano, but then she doesn't have a condom, and they get into that whole thing.
But then that guy turns out to be a scumbag.
Criminal. Yeah. Right. And so he goes home from the party with Vivian, that actress we were talking about, and everything seems great. She's hot. She's into it. She wants to do all this stuff. But then he can't go to his apartment because, again, the future fiance has the whole, he can't be here. And she's hooking up with whatever, Rico Suave, Glenn Powell. And so they have to go to his mom's house. Now, why he picked the mom's house, I guess he thought they'd be upstairs sleeping.
That was a bold choice.
So that's why he's like, I know, because it's like, still they're there, but okay. So
he's like, at their age, they're not going all night.
Right, because she tries to go upstairs, and he's like, no, and takes her like into the living room.
Yep.
And but then you see the mom and
LeVar
Burton all wrapped up in bubble wrap.
And the line that LeVar Burton had, where he said, "We were watching an ASMR video about," and it just went from there. He's like, I don't care. That
was so funny. And then Vivian, she goes, "Okay, this is even too freaky for me. I'm getting out. I don't have time for this." I thought that was great.
Yeah, they end up back, like, so both of them end up back at the pizza joint. They have a moment. Hawke calls him on the phone, basically says, I couldn't do it, and he realizes he's made a mistake. We're like an hour from sunrise. He runs back to where. So earlier in the night,
it sucks because Meyer was so shitty to him, and then of course he just, like a little lost puppy, goes running back to her, where he's had this great connection with Allie, and right before that, Allie had this. So she does these like hallucinations, like daydreaming of things that she's hoping for or whatever, and so she did one at.
She did one at the
club
where she thinks
she's
people
performing,
are all like into her, and then she has one at the restaurant where they start hooking up. But it's all.
And so it's
head.
like what she had hoped for. Like, the phone's ringing. It's Maya
Hawke,
Hawke, and
yeah.
and she imagines that she flips the phone over and they hook up, and it's a good scene. Like that's the scene that they left in there of like the sex hookup type stuff. But then the whole thing goes through, and then he cuts back to the table, and the phone's still ringing. So she imagined it, and when he says, "What should I do?" and of course she ends up saying, "You should answer it," which is so she made the wrong choice. He made the wrong choice, right? They should have just hooked up. But yeah,
It's
he goes running back
good
to
moment
her.
because it's definitely him saying, "What are we doing here?"
Yeah,
Like
true.
he's
no, that's what I mean.
giving
He
he's
asked.
giving her the option. Like if she says don't answer it, he's not answering it. But
Yep.
she's also trying to be like the better person
Yeah.
and say go ahead and go for it.
Yep.
So he goes
so
over
they both
there.
realize
and-
they make mistakes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he realizes he's made a mistake. He runs back. Earlier in the movie, he had eaten all of this sushi, and when he initially bumps into Allie, they have a very good meet cute. And
I
then
thought that was
and then he
great.
pukes all over the place because he
That was
ate too
great.
much.
They had a meat puke.
The meat puke.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
I thought that was great because it's the typical rom-com, like, oh, hey, what are you doing? You don't have anyone. I don't have anyone. And, they're both two good-looking people out to try to accomplish their goal. And then he throws up. I thought, how great.
And then I do like that he throws
Now
up
they hate each
and
other.
he was like, God, and he just like keeps walking because he just, he just keeps.
Wait, let me explain that. He's trying to explain it. And of course, she's like, get away from me.
Right,
like,
right.
He just seems like some drunkard loser guy.
Yeah.
And
So then they had Allie earlier in the movie had told the story about this red lighthouse. So of course,
I like that he picked a bat. Like, he's like, God, you only have such a short time to choose. And I don't even like bats.
Yeah.
His tattoo's a bat.
and of course Allie gets to the lighthouse thinking that he's going to be there because of the conversation, and he's not. But when she gets to the lower level, there he is. And then
figured it out.
They have a moment where it's like, we can do this right now, or we can wait. And I was like, that's a bold choice, brother. Like, you are mid-stroke. You're going to stop?
I knew
Yeah.
there was no way that they were actually going to have sex.
Of course not.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
I thought because they were so close to this thing ending, I was like, no, they're going to wait.
I thought they were going to be like, oh, yeah.
Or
let's
I
go.
thought it was going to be
they
like,
were
oh, it
gonna,
got
like-
repealed. So now we can do it whenever we want.
Well, I did think that after I thought when they said, oh, we'll wait, they talked previously, the best part is the build up.
Yeah.
And so they say that again, what's a year? We can wait. And then I thought they were going to agree to it. And then they were going to have an announcement that the thing got repealed. And they're going to be like, all right, game on.
Right.
Like, that's how I thought it was going.
Because that's how politics work.
But it flash forwards a year. But, for whatever reason, it's in the background, always the political stuff going on. So I thought it was going to be overturned or whatever.
Right. And actually, I
But-
like this part where it's been a year. They're sitting on the couch and they both look at their phones are going off and everything's going crazy again.
Well, you want to go get something to
And
eat?
I liked that. I was like, it's kind of like, yeah, man, like I'm into you. We're doing this. And then they both stand like facing each other down, like looking down a hallway to the bedroom. They're like, what are we doing? Of course.
Yeah. Like picks her up and throws her in there.
Yeah, this is. I did not have the visceral reaction that Tom had.
Oh, I love this. I know I'm gonna have to buy this the second it comes on VOD because
But
Katie's already
I
ready to
did
watch
think
it again.
it was. These are the kind of movies to me that are the most frustrating because you can see where a fun movie could have been, and they missed it. Like that's to me, it's almost like when you're watching a sport, like your home team, and it's a blowout, right? And your team is just going to lose horribly. And you're like, well,
You'll have to use words we can understand, Joe. I don't-
sports ball.
Oh, okay.
yes.
And a blow what?
A blowout, which is when a baby squirts it out of their diaper. It's the worst. It's terrible. We've all been there. We know what's up. You know.
I thought it was a John Travolta movie.
Also, God damn it, that's a good movie.
That's a great.
I bought that
movie.
last year at the Criterion.
Did you get the
Yeah,
Criterion?
you're damn right I did.
I love that movie.
That might be my favorite De Palma movie.
Man, it's
I
good.
do love Body Double though. But Blowout is a better movie. Yeah,
You
it.
didn't go with Carrie?
I
horror
think
movie guy?
Carrie is great, but Blowout is a better
Impossible?
movie. What?
Mission Impossible.
No. What are you gonna say? The Black
I do
Dahlia?
Like, though, that, yeah, I do like that in Mission Impossible, the tone just completely changes to superhero movie once J.J. Abrams takes over. But like that first one,
no,
is
not
such-
JJ. It's McQuarrie.
No,
That- you think
JJ
that
turned
third-
it into
did,
a.
Did JJ do
Yeah,
the third
JJ
one?
when he's spinning around doing motorcycles.
Oh,
and
JJ didn't do the third one. JJ did the fourth one.
John Woo did the second, right?
Yeah.
And then Did JJ didn't do the third?
I thought Brad Bird.
I
does
thought
the
Brad
fourth
Bird did
one.
the third one.
Yeah, Brad Bird made them they were good. Like they were good action movies, but that third one JJ took and
No,
like
the third
turned it
one. The
into-
third one is Brad Bird. The fourth one.
No, Brad
I
Bird
think it's
did
the other way
good
around.
one.
Oh,
No,
is it?
Brad Bird did Ghost
Protocol.
which was like, this is
Oh.
amazing.
I guess
Yeah.
I thought that was McQuarrie the whole time.
But the first one's a Palma spy thriller.
yes.
Then it goes to John Woo with doves.
Yep.
And then the third one turns into a J.J. Abrams lens flare motorcycle cliff jumping, hanging, whatever. And then Brad Bird kind of reins it in, but does like solid big budget action movie, which sets the tone, which is great. Like I love the fourth one's awesome.
And
But-
then it's McQuarrie after that.
like the De Palma one is such a far. It is Fast and Furious compared to Fast X, right? De Palma's
Very much
Mission
so.
Impossible is so different because that's like intrigue. And can you follow John Voight's doing this? Is he good?
All
is
his
he
team
bad?
is dead.
Are they all
Spoilers
dead?
for
Are
the
they-
team. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, what the hell is going on here? And then the next one, they're just like, let's just jump a motorcycle into a submarine and explode the whatever.
Look, Peak De Palma is Sisters, Body Double, Dress to Kill, Blowout, Carrie, and then it's off the rails after that. That poor guy couldn't figure it out.
He's doing fine.
He's doing just fine.
Phantom of the Paradise.
That's a good movie. It's a weird movie, but it's a good
Yeah.
one. Now, Black Dahlia is where Hollywood was like, you might be done. I think you're done with movies.
Snake Eyes.
Was it?
Snake Eyes. Remember Nicolas
Ooh,
Cage?
I do like Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
Yeah, Snake Eyes is fun. But
The Bonfire of the Vanities. How
that
about
also
that
was the
one?
one. That's also the one
That's
where
the
Hollywood's
one,
like,
right? He got put
oh
in movie jail for
boy.
that one.
There's a great podcast about the making of that
Right.
movie. And
Yeah.
it's
Great book about the making
Based
of
on the
that
book,
movie.
I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I think it's something to do with
crazy.
the book.
Yeah, this is again. It's. I thought the box office on this was going to be higher only because I thought they did a good job of waiting out, the Odyssey and Spider-Man.
It's good counter programming.
It is good
date
counter
night
programming.
movie.
You figure
Yeah,
Spider-Man is kind of front loaded a lot.
for sure.
But
Oh,
apparently
a
not.
lot.
$900 million opening weekend.
That's
yeah.
wild. It's wild that has made that much money
It's
with
like, oh,
just
it's gotta
one
beat,
Avenger.
Hold on, before this weekend, because we're recording on Sunday, before the weekend totals, it is already at $1.25 billion, and so I'm sure after this weekend, it's gonna.
How fast did Endgame get there? I guess we can't. We don't know that.
I don't know about speed wise, but it did break the opening because of Thursday night previews started at Thursday at 1 a.m. or whatever. They, like Thursday night, they lump it all together. So it had like $3 million over Endgame's opening, which is insane. The
Wild.
culmination of 10 years and then a Spider-Man sequel.
It's crazy.
But so hopefully this one will make $1 billion, by and have legs is what we're saying.
Yeah, this is again. It's so frustrating because if they had just stuck with the tone, that would have been a lot of fun, and they didn't.
But see, this is why this podcast is great. There's an opinion for everyone.
I don't think
I
I've
loved
heard
it. Joe was in the middle.
I don't
Tom
think
despised it.
I've heard Tom be that mad at a movie in a very long time.
Well, there was something. What did he get so mad about? There was something in the last year or two. That he
Like
got
that?
that you hate. Yeah, what did you hate? Can you even remember which one you hated so much recently?
I didn't like Evil Dead.
Not like
Burn,
that.
No, but you
but
were
not like this.
I just remember it because it's rare that you get that mad about a movie, but there was something that you hated and went off on. And I just can't remember what. Chime in on the comments, please. Listen to every episode.
Please.
Yes.
Like and comment on every episode.
Just to
and then
help
when
us
you find
out,
it,
yeah.
let us know.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, like I probably blocked it out as I will soon block out this movie.
Oh.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
I
It's
hope
just
I think that
offensive to my
gal.
sensibilities.
I think that gal has it. I would like to see her be able to be okay coming out of this movie.
Yeah, she has the Kristen Milotti cuteness
Oh,
factor.
I can see that. I think she's better
that's who
looking
she reminds
than
me
her.
of.
But
But
look, Kristen Milotti's gorgeous. I think this
Yeah.
gal is.
there's a cuteness. It's like the
exceptional.
Anna Kendrick, Kristen Milotti.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the cuteness factor. I think more so than the Margot Robbie bombshell factor. Right? There's two different.
Yeah. Shut up, redhead
Ex-
boy.
Well,
Except-
yeah, none of them are just
Bryce Dallas Howard, yeah,
So
right.
I mean,
and none of them are as funny as Anna Kendrick.
Agreed.
Like Anna Kendrick is like she could. She could be a comedy writer. I think she's
She is
so
funny.
She's
naturally funny.
Yeah, I agree completely.
So
There you go.
So anyway, I guess that's it for this one. Let's go around the virtual table, and everyone can say where to find me.
This is Joe. You can follow me on the Twitter at JoeyButts, BUTTS21, and on all other social medias at the same.
And this is Kevin. You can follow me at the One Night Only Fan Club.
Yeah,
That's
You'll
a
be the
very
only one
different
in
club,
there.
brother.
You'll be easy to find because you're the only one in there. So,
Oh, Katie will be there with me.
this is Tom. You can find me on Blue Sky and Threads at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/Real Spoilers. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, don't forget our Patreon. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, Nick and Nora miss the concert.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. So, in closing, this movie.
Oh my goodness.
Honestly, I can't remember the last time you got that mad.
I
like-
wish I could remember what it was, because you always say that, like, this movie, and I can't remember, but it was within the last year or two. There was something that was so bad that we hated. I just can't.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Not like that.
Just,
Huh? That's interesting. I really thought that you were going to take, like, because it was a cute rom-com, but it had the political statements like going on in the background that I thought were clearly cutting at the Republicans. Like, I just thought that you were going to appreciate that.
no,
That's
I just the
interesting.
tone, the way it's so light and fluffy, and isn't this just a cute little circumstance in which we find ourselves? And I'm like, you might as well take a rom-com and set it in a ICE detention camp. Like, it's
It's
Like-
hard because it's like, but in movies, it's like, well, you're dealt with, there's these crappy situations, but also I feel like there's a story to be told that, like, you can't do anything about it. So, like, what is it like for when you can do the thing you want to do? Like, I just thought it was an interesting, just a glimpse in that 12 hours. Yes, it sucks, and you hear people say it sucks, but it's like, well, we're not going to just sit around and not do it. So, like, I don't know. I thought it was, I don't know.
I don't know. They should have had a character who was pro-mandate
I
following
felt
them
like
around,
LeVar Burton
trying-
was supposed to be that guy.
Hang on. They should have had a character who was pro-mandate that was following them around trying to stop them.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Matt. Sorry to pop in here, but that was the end of the episode. I guess Joe got so mad at Tom for telling him to hang on that he took off, and Tom was so mad about the movie. And then Kevin's just always mad, you know? It's like, remember in Avengers when the green fella goes, "That's my secret. I'm mad all the time." Well, that's Kevin, so he's ready to get off, you know, whenever. Once a year. But, you know, all that was left was to go around the table and tell you where to find them. And I can do that. I can tell you where to find these guys. You can find Joe on the Twitter at Joey Butts, BUTTS 21. Joe feels like you guys don't know how to spell butts. Kevin, you can find on Twitter at Kevin R. Brackett. And he thinks that you can spell that just fine. Tom is on Blue Sky and Threads at Tom O'Keefe Jr. and Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. Don't forget, you can find the show online at facebook.com/Real Spoilers. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and don't forget about the Patreon. $5 a month gets you tons of bonus content, ad-free episodes, and they like you extra. And then that's it for this one. And until next time, the pizza guy ejaculates. It's from a porno that I saw.
Get ready for a spoiler. Won't say it twice, cause we already warned you. Better watch out, it's gonna ruin the plot. Real spoilers. Real spoilers. Real spoilers.